I have so much to say about renting a Tesla. I can't keep it all in one video. I have a laundry list of things. Right now I finally calmed down, and it's towards the end of our trip, and I know where to charge. I know what the closest supercharger is, and yeah, I know what to do. But driving in the dead heat of summer in Texas is the absolute worst place to do across the state, not even country, road trip. It was horrible. We could barely get 150 miles on what the the superchargers allow you to have, like 80-85% on certain capacity because of how many Teslas are there charging. And I found that when we charged to 99% in the middle of nowhere, it got us really far. So that was really good. But not just the charging or stress situation of like finding the nearest supercharger, because the superchargers are great. They charge, 20 to 30 minutes for a full charge. But the other chargers, like the Tesla chargers, the destination chargers, those take like 4 to 6 hours. So it's like, what do you do when you're road tripping and you obviously need your rental car every single day for a huge portion of the day? And I found myself, like, we journeyed from Corpus Christi, Texas to Rockport a lot because that's where my grandparents' house is. And we went back and forth a lot, which was like 45 miles or 45 minutes. So every morning I had to wake up and like, okay, I'm barely going 60 miles, but let me figure out, where's the nearest, and then I'll be at this percentage and I'll be at that percentage, later. And oh my gosh, just the constant amount of charging stress. Because this is not like charging your phone. Like, if you don't charge, your family, all 4 of us, would be stranded in the dead heat of Texas. And even if we were stranded and someone came to rescue us, it would still take 10 hours to charge it. So you're without transportation, and it would ruin the entire day. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty important to like get near a charger once you're 30%, 20%. And that's the other thing too. It's like it lets you charge it to 85%, but then by 20% you're like egging for, so really you only have 60% of the charge, which in our scenario has been 150 miles because the gas, the gas, I wish, the air capacity, like you need to have full blast air when it's 109 degrees outside. And this thing is beating down on you because it's a sunroof. So outside of all that, there's so many other things that are extremely annoying about this. When you're going above a hill and you're on self-driving and you're in the middle of nowhere, it'll just randomly stop. It'll go from like 80 to 40 and you're like, there's no one here. Come on, Tesla, make better decisions. And then there's this whole touchscreen thing. It's like, okay, I don't need an iPad. I need everything in front of me. I need functional buttons in front of me. Like, I need to have all the buttons there. I don't need to be looking for stuff. It's really great that they have, the self-charge or the superchargers built in to the navigation system. But I found that I've had to have my navigation system on my phone at the same time as this navigation system because, Google is best, and Tesla's fighting with Google and Apple and everyone because they think they're better, but it's just not necessarily the best. It's good, but not the best. So another thing that's super annoying is when you press this, there's like a huge lag in the Bluetooth, which, by the way, you can't hook up, Apple CarPlay, you can't hook up any other thing with it. And then the Q charging, so the wireless charging on all the Teslas do not work. So not only is your car battery going down, but your phone battery is going down, adding to the stress of being stranded. Okay, Because you can't charge your phone unless you buy things. But I already bought the rental. Oh, another thing, we were at the beach and we're like, why is the car turning on by itself? And of course we're stressing about that because it's like you're on 50% and you have to plan every single ounce of charge. And I find out, oh, there's cabin overheat protection. So the car just turns on the AC so it keeps you safe inside the cabin, which is nice in the summer. But absolutely awful when you're out here, you know, trying to plan every single ounce of the charge, you know, as you make your day trips on vacation. So again, just like another thing that sucks the life out of the battery and you can't really plan for unless you live through it. The acceleration is fun. You know, I did this for Benny. He was really excited and we surprised him with the Tesla rental, and I thought, and Molly with the Tesla rental. But for the most part, it's just very impractical for the situation that we're in. So the impracticalities, the smartness but not smartness, really, really, really confusing on this. It's like a combination of a Windows and Apple. Like it doesn't it's fancy, but it doesn't necessarily work. It overthinks. It's not smart at all. You have to outsmart the car. There's been times where I'm going really fast and I have to swerve. I have to take the wheel because it doesn't know that the lane is, you know, doing whatever. And sometimes it's fine and it just freaks out. So I would think as long as Tesla has been around, they would work out all these kinks. Like, someone needs to fix it. Someone needs to fix these impracticalities. Oh, and then another thing, because I'm a sound person, I wanted to figure out where the sound was, and I finally figured it out. Like, you can do the balance there, which is great, and the tone there, which is okay, but the tone of these speakers are absolutely horrendous. Like, it sounds like a bad Bluetooth speaker. The lows are not there at all, and the highs are really, really, really distorted. So it might be a bad system, or I don't know, again, but just, you can have a bottom of the line, I don't know, Hyundai. Think of the worst car you could have, but new. And it has a tremendous sound system. So even the sound system was bad. Anyways, it's just, it's totally not worth it for practical reasons. You know, it's a fun joyride. It's an electric car. It has one gear. Acceleration is phenomenal. You know, but that's about it. Oh yeah, and before someone says like, oh, you didn't plan well, I did. I planned very well, actually. I researched it. I looked up multiple YouTubes from the people that drive from like Dallas to San Antonio, Dallas to Austin and beyond. So I definitely knew it was going to be difficult, but what I didn't plan for was the extreme hot, like driving down from Dallas to Austin to San Antonio, like that was just straight 109 degrees, and the air conditioner had to be on complete high, like 9 or 10, just full blast, and it ran down the battery tremendously fast. Oh, and the impracticalities too, like if someone is adjusting the air condition and you also want to like turn, you can't do what you need to do while you're, you know, while the screen's up there. So that makes it pretty convenient. So yeah, someone needs to fix this interface. Like everything needs to be on the screen, and you can expand it when you hit each screen, each section, instead of the way this is now, which is basically like iPad controls. Super impractical when you're driving. Definitely dangerous. So I told Ben, he's super engineer-minded about everything, and Molly too. I was like, okay, so like grow up and fix Tesla. Fix it so it's practical, because I could see how it could just very simply become really, really nice if it was just more practical all around. Outside of, you know, all the chargers and everything, but even the interface, like, it just needs to be more practical, and it needs to be able to be combined with other technologies, because it's just not right now. It's in its own ecosystem, which is really sad.